Welcome everyone, it's Vapor Drakomar. It's time for some more Raid Shadow Legends. In this episode, we are going to be continuing on. Can we get something ridiculous? Not what I had in mind. Really not what I had in mind. Also not what I had in mind. Can we get something better? Okay, at least our dwarves faction is saved. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'll take our dwarves faction being saved. Cool. Sometimes the game does weird things. It's like, oh, I want to do this. It's like, that's not what I had in mind. That champ is not what I had in mind at all. But okay, game.
Alex, I don't see you eating your food.
I will be doing that.
Okay.
It's like, but that champ is not what I had in mind. It's like, what's this? I have a feeling I have a lot of those. I just have this horrible feeling. You ever get this feeling that you think you have something crazy or like something not crazy? I know Dilgol is good. I'm not going to get rid of him. He has a very specific purpose. Very specific. Gotta clean up these quests. Yeah, I really have to clean up these quests. Okay, first things first. Faction Wars. Let's check what factions we have. Okay, this is sad. So we're not going to be grinding that much. Yeah, we're going to be going through the big ticket stages, starting with this one. Yeah. We do have a Purgator, but I haven't built him out. This is my only account that does not have Mordecai on it. I mean, Dilgol is not bad. It's a new champ for this account, and he has decreased accuracy, which I may actually end up using, strangely enough. And you're like, what could you possibly use for that? In a word, Bommel. Because the thing about Bommel is you cannot... She is useless versus Bommel, by the way. Because you cannot... And I repeat. You cannot... What can't you do? You cannot... There's a lot of things you can't do. And one of them is... But yeah, Voids have such a low chance of getting good champs anyway. It's kind of maniacal. It's one of the reasons why whales have to burn so many shards, even for a 10x. But at least some of the dwarves faction has been saved. I'm doing faction wars for a purpose, because this is actually the 2x. Not that I'm a fan that this is the 2x, because some of my accounts have really bad faction teams. But it is, in fact, the 2x is Faction Wars. It is, in fact, the 2X. I didn't build out my Aethel yet, which I probably should have. But, we're not going to focus on that right this second. We'll do it after doing the quest marathon. Because trust me when I say that even though I completed the other quest marathon off screen, there's still so much quests that I have to do. It's maniacal and faction wars. Lots and lots of faction wars. The amount of faction wars and Ice Golem I'm going to have to do is nothing short of ridiculous. I am not exaggerating. I'd love to be exaggerating, but I am not exaggerating. Which is terrible to admit, but that's the reality. I'm not exaggerating. You're like, really, Vaporsmith? Yeah, I'm not exaggerating. The amount... And the amount of leveling. We haven't even gotten to the final leveling yet. Oh, yeah. That's going to be a gas. I do not foresee me beating Doom Tower really at all on this account, just because the gear is just not there. That's the problem. Now, the other account, I can see it happening. I can see it happening because... Why can I see it happening? I can see it happening because it's got a lot of gear on it. It's also got Vrask and Jarrig. I don't know if Jarrig will be useful without stupid amounts of resist. I do know that Vrask will be, if Jarrig isn't. I don't know, because I know that's what the next rotation is. That is literally what the next rotation is. Did we complete any of these? Mix affinity potion. Just believe me or believe it or not. I may just have to go with that. Give them slightly more resist this way. Because this might be the only chance we have to beat that boss. To beat Frank. Because without enough resistance, I don't see it happening. In any regard. Because what's going to happen is he's going to get debuffed to hell and he's going to die. Literally, that's what's going to happen. And it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty. Come on. Just do it so I can get my 1,000 points and move on. Come on. You can do it. I'm waiting. Come on, you filthy stinking piece of gear. Thank you. There's a reason I'm doing this. Is because he needs some resistance or we're going to get stepped on. Okay, this piece, depending on what rolls it gets, will replace the other one. Depending on what rolls it gets. Okay, it's already more valuable. It's already more valuable. Even 1 roll in resistance. 2 rolls in resistance. Yeah, this is the kind of piece we need. This. Because the problem isn't accuracy necessarily, it's that he's going to need resistance. He's going to need it. There's no way around it. There's literally no way around it. He needs resistance, glyph for resistance, because without this, you're not going to get very far. You're just not. I'm speccing him out with this to pray for trying to fix the Doom Tower boss. Because I know that having more resistance goes a long way towards defeating that Griffin. Like a long way. Come on. I know you can do it. Any day now. Thank you. Gotta have resistance in it. If it doesn't have resistance, I have a problem. Houston, we have a problem if it doesn't have resistance in it. It has to have some speed too, or it'll never take a turn. Yep. Most of this is bad in quality. Especially this stuff. I need to sell like 1 million worth in this or close to it. As I have to deal in massive amounts of silver just to get close to the numbers I need. Let's do well over 1 million. Because guess what? I'm going to need all the silver I can get. In general, just to build champs, level gear, you can never get enough of it. And leveling any gear burns silver so fast, it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling how fast silver evaporates. Like this amount of silver won't even build a single champ. Yep. We do that. Fight in classic. Let's look for an easy team. This might be as close as we get. We're probably going to get screwed doing this, but it's worth a shot. It's worth a shot. Well, it didn't work out, but we got the mission done. Put Deke in there. Let's try this cocktail. Perfect. There we go. Because I want to stay in gold. The longer you stay in gold, the better it gets. You don't want to get out of gold. Because as you start to get out of gold, if you decay out of gold, ooh, It's not a good thing. It is not necessarily a good thing. What we like to call a good thing. This is not going to be the easiest fight, but we'll see if we can win. I'm not expecting to win, but if we win, it's a bonus. It is a bonus. She is so annoying to deal with, honestly. Perfect. There we go. We get to preserve our rank, because here it actually matters. It actually matters, and the reason that it matters goes like this. The reason that it matters is because the longer you stay in gold, the more gold arena medals you get, and the higher you can get your Great Hall medal stuff up. Which reminds me, yeah, some good real estate here. They've already reached the 400k mark. Dang. Well, rip in pieces, but we tried, man. We tried. By the time we get to 400k, they'll probably be ahead of us again. I just don't see it happening. I'm in. I just don't see it happening. But that doesn't mean that I can't get more out of this tournament. But dang. They're really moving far and fast, those guys. They must be quite an active bunch. Even compared to us, and definitely compared to anyone in my other clan. We gotta get to at least 5 tokens used. Just in case we didn't clear that. And time is of the essence. There we go. One more. I've got to get this out of the way. There's no other way around this. I'll take it. See, I knew that wasn't done. Okay, perception. Artifact at the forge. I'll take it. Defense 8%. Not bad. And then I gotta do 5 keys in the Doom Tower again. What's new? What is new? Yes, what they did say about higher ranking artifacts having higher stats is true. Which is why I always try to look for the highest ranking artifacts I can find. Because unfortunately, there's a lot of artifacts with much lower stats. And the lower your account level, the worse that is. Because, yeah, I don't see me winning this one, but it's not going to stop me from trying. Man, boosting his defense, that's a massive... That is a massive boost in damage, my lord. Massive. I think it's because also she has low resist. I'm going to check my other champs, though. Because I will need to build them for Griffin. You can tell that the second... Ooh, that was nice. Can we even do this? Might as well try. This might literally be more faction wars than I would ever normally do, by the way. Because I don't normally ever try to do this much faction wars. It's just not in my nature. This is like faction wars on another level. Fighting snorting thugs and champions that I almost never see built out. Yep. I mean, I'm doing this mainly for the points, because I need the points, and I need to build out more champs for faction wars. So hey, that's more points in the fire. That is more points in the fire. It's going to take so much to even get to 400k. I don't even know if it's worth... Like, I'll try it just because I want to try to get as close as I can to rank 5, or level 5. To get back there. I mean, we're already at level 4 right now, and we're a portion of the way there already. So, it doesn't... We're not too far off. Because once I do that, by the way, just want to point this out, we'll be right back where I was before with Bard Court, but this time with a clan that can actually participate in clan tournament. So that therein is why I want to do it. Because the last thing that we're missing on this clan that Bard Court ended up getting was its rank 5. I probably should have never given it that level 5, but I did, and I regret it. Because now I have to re-earn it from the ground up. I only have one more level to go, but we'll see how long that takes to do. One of them did only 45 points. Wow. Well, that's something. That is really something. $45 points is like what? Less than a tag arena? One tag arena. Literally more points than her entire contribution to this tournament. One tag arena. That's part of my problem. When someone puts so few points in here that it's less than a tag arena, that's dragging us down. A lot. Because that means they've maybe showed up once. The entire tournament? And that's with them qualifying? Man. Trying to clear out all these quests. And here's the thing. Most of my teammates, except a few, get away with a lot more, I feel like, than they should. Especially the people that literally barely ever show up. Like that, it tilts me. It's too bad that he steals buffs. That makes him extra annoying to deal with. But we'll see what I can do. I'm hoping to get an Elder Scarg one day. One of many legendaries. The game is just like, no, you are not going to have it. Nah. Like, that's literally what it feels like. The game's taunting me. So if you just go a little further, you'll get him. One day, I swear. Gotcha. Alright. Where does that currently put me? Just outside of my comfort range. My comfort range is 50k. Alright, we're going to want him, Syl, I'd put Vrask in there, but he's not that well built. Cleanse. Well, actually, that reminds me. What is her build? Resist 190. Do we have any resist gear? Anything with resist in it? Resist or HP? Now we need that. I think I did that just for the set bonus. We want the HP on her, I mean. Resistance is ideal. Her HP suffers though. I think I want to go with HP for now. Because she's a bit too on the squishy side. And that right now is a problem. You don't want your cleanser to be squishy. As if it's squishy, you're going to have problems. No resist. I'm doing this on purpose just to look for... Attack is not the stat I'd like to see. It just isn't. If I get another roll, I want it in defense. So if I get... Because that's the problem. She's the fallback, and if she takes too big of a smack, she's not going to be there to res anything. That's the real issue here. Please, game. Please. Please. Roll the stat. Thank you. Oh, good. It's HP. Because you want as much HP and resist as you can get. So let's see what we can do. First, we're going to put Taragi with the resist aura. Then we're going to put Tender with the increased resist. Then her. Then Syl. Then Sanguinia with the increased resist. Maybe. I'm banking on having a lot of healing. I'll start with that. Because I do not see me winning this easily in any normal fashion. I could use Drex, but I'm gonna start with a heal-based team. Because I'm afraid of the boss. And I'm gonna treat him as if he's Iragoth. Because he kind of behaves very Iragoth-esque without the lockout. Like, he has that very high damage and the debuffs. So that's very Iragoth-like. As I know that if I don't go for the high resist, high HP builds, we're screwed. And that is the harsh reality of it. Because the biggest problem isn't just we do no damage, it's we wipe constantly. This tells me that the durability is not on point. It just is not. And that is why I have to try to go for this strat. I will check to see if his item is booked. Because the main problem I had, especially with Reliquary Tender, is they got blown up long before their time. Getting the decreased attack is more important than the burn. The fact she couldn't cleanse that off was really bad. It's amazing how much of a problem this guy is. Wow. This is what I mean by my gear is not up to par. When he really gets going with that, you're dead. If your gear isn't really nice. Okay, well, screw that. I'm still a distance away. Let's try versus this boss. As I know it's the gear, because I've beaten that stage with similar champs. That's the reality of it. I have beaten that stage before. Okay, I'm going to try something real quick. I'm actually going to try that stage. Not this stage. The other stage with Ninja in it. You don't need him, but I think I need damage is the problem. I do believe we're lacking some damage. Because the healer only strat, I don't know if this count has the gear for that. We're still putting like 3 different forms of passive healing in the same team. But we're going to put some damage in there. Because I want to see if I can burn him down. But this time get some ninja help. Because at this point, I don't have very good gear, so I might need the damage. Just to try to make it so that we get close to killing him. Because the problem, I'm only doing this because my gear is rubbish. You don't need to do this. I'm just doing it because I have him and my gear is bad. So it's this combination factor of I have him, he's good versus this boss, he's the right affinity, and I have terrible gear. So it's this combination factor that makes it so that... Because yes, I can technically re-gear Syl and Taragi right now, eventually, and technically use just them. But I want to first try this to see if I can get past this boss. At this point, I'm desperate. At this point, I'm desperate. Because I know I can beat it the slow way. But not only do I not want to beat it the slow way, I have a means to potentially beat it a faster way. So, like, if I have the means to do that, let's try it. Yes, there is a slow and steady way of doing this, but I don't feel in the mood for that right now, and I don't think this account's prepared for it. Because when you get this guy to 20 Skybond stacks, by the way, he hits really, really hard. And I don't think my gear is ready for him to hit really, really hard. As most of you already know. I do not think he is ready for that. I mean, I don't believe my team is ready to get bashed around for like a whole bunch of turns by this boss. That's what I'm thinking. That doesn't mean that Coffin Smasher is not involved. I just need something to bridge the gap. See, I needed something to bridge the gap. Something is up. One thing is fishy with Sill's gear. I can tell. Something. Yeah, let's ascend her. Get those cool points in. Because I'm cool like that. Alright. As I'm like, if there's a time, I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Can we roll anything but attack? Anything. Speed will do. Anything but attack. Because, for those of you who don't know, Scylla the Drakes has 0 use for attack. Her attack is based off defense. If you want her to smack harder, raise her defense. She has 0 use for attack. That's why I'm not pleased when I see an attack roll on a champ like Syl, or Roslyn, or Draxthar, because they're all in the same camp of decreasing their attack or increasing their attack has 0 effect on what they do, including damage. 0. It's useless. Completely useless stat. Completely useless stat. Now, resist is not a completely useless stat by any stretch of the imagination. Because, I mean, I'm keeping it either way for now because it's my only resistance banner. Yeah, and attack banner straight out of the gate is just bad. I will have to replace her helmet at some point. Because I got her helmet a while ago and it's kind of trash. She's not trash. Her gear, some of her gear is trash. Syl is not trash. Syl is not trash. Syl destroys things. Her boots are pretty bad too. We'll work on that later. I do have to update her gear. But yeah, we get some further optimization on this. Like, I wouldn't run Ninja if my gear wasn't rubbish. But the problem is I have Ninja and my gear is not good. So long extended battles with this, like really long extended battles, are bad for me. Because if I take a long extended battle versus this boss on this account, I will get screwed. That's the crux of it. If I go a shorter battle, there will be less Skybond stacks, less chance for the Griffin to build up his strength. Like, there is a possibility for me to do it so that the strength buildup doesn't really matter, but it requires gear that I don't have. That's the problem. Or gear that's out of the reach of this account. That's the real issue. Like, well, at least it might be within reach, but it's going to take a while. Like, I'm going to have to grind Ice Golem even more tonight, obviously, and I may not even get it. Like, it's just, the gear is out of the reach of this account. That's why Ninja is here. He is here as a gear compensation strategy. Because I have him. If I didn't have him, I obviously wouldn't use him. But this is one of the last places in the game where I actually... One of the last places I use Ninja. I'm not even joking. This is one of the last places in Raid I use Ninja. That is how bad of a state Ninja currently is in terms of how much hate he's getting from being a limited time champ. This is literally the last place I use him, is in Doom Tower and versus Clan Boss. And that's it. That is where he's been relegated to. That's the sad truth. And I only have 2 accounts that have Ninja on them. And this is one of those accounts. I wasn't exactly aware how much of an uproar this would have caused at the time, but yeah. This is the last, some of the last ninjas on Earth. Or those 2 accounts. This one and my first account. At least that's what it feels like. My 3rd account can never ever get a ninja. Unless they somehow revoke it. So it has to resort to other strategies. And it may have to resort to OP amounts of gear. That decreased attack was 100% necessary, by the way. Because we're closing in on 20 Skybonds. 20 Skybond stacks is, it's enough to kill. It is enough to kill. Let's try to climb further up the tower. In the next episode.